Alright, good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, Sir Joe.
Today we are having experiment 4 today. From the last class, we looked at experiment 3. That was from the chemistry aspects. Now we are looking at biology practical, a deduced question from 2020 biology practical WAEC exams. The title of the experiment is identification of what? Of proteins. Now listen, protein is one of the food what we eat. We have 6 classes of what? Of food, and one of them what is proteins. Proteins are body building what? Food. Now for you to test if a solution is having a protein linkage in it, there are some reactions what they undergo. Protein undergo different color what? Reactions. Today we are looking at Biuret what? Reactions. Now we have some reagents. Let's look at the apparatus and the materials. From the board we have what? Egg white. The egg white is called what? The albumin. Albumin is the white part of what? The egg. When the yolk is what? Is removed. Now we have sodium hydroxide solution. We have dropper, we have sterile rod, we have copper sulfate solution, we have test tube racks, and we have what? Distilled water. Now, proteins, just like I said, undergo different types of what? Color reactions. This experiment we're looking at is for the Biuret what? Reactions. Are you with me? Yeah. Now, in the Minos reactions, when sodium hydroxide, when protein is heated with Minos what? Reagents, there are some brick red solutions that are formed. The brick red colorations formed inside the solution tells you that that solution is having what? A protein linkage what? In it. But in this case, it's going to be what? A different reactions, a different observation all through. Why? Because we are using what? The Biuret what? Reagent. And at the end of the day, if we can add the procedures in the way it's supposed to be, we are going to have what? A purple or what we call violet colorations. Now, when you see a purple violet coloration after carrying out this procedure, it means that there's protein what present. There's present of what? Of proteins. Now let's look at the procedures. They say put 5 ml of test solution, albumin or what? Of egg, in dry test tube A, and in test tube B, add 5 ml of distilled water as control. Add 3 ml of sodium hydroxide, followed by 4 to 5 drops of copper sulfate solution. In test tube A and B, mix well using the sterile rod and what? Record the what? Observation. Now, if you carry out this procedure, what you are expected to get at the end of the day, your observation is supposed to be what? The color change. The color change is what? A violet or a purple what? Color. That is, if sodium hydroxide is mixed in egg white or the albumin of egg together with what? 4 to 5 drops of what? Copper sulfate what? Solution. What you observed is what? Will be you will see a purple coloration. That becomes a what? Observation. Now from here we have observation. You can put it in writing, but this table is from the 2020 WAEC question, the deduced question from 2020. Now what you're going to put here, if you see such question what? In your exams, in your WAEC, here you put the test. What test are you putting here? Is identification of what? Of proteins. Are you with me? It's going to be here. Then your observation is the coloration. The coloration is going to be what? To be purple or what? Or violet. Are you following? Now in the inference is to state what you've also what? Observed. Now stating it, you said the test, the observation, the inference will not be presence of protein. There is what? Presence of protein. That's because of what? Your inference. The observation is the color or whatever the word you see when you carry out what the procedures what that are what given. Now the next thing is your experimental setup. The experimental setup, we'll look at that in our workbench. I've told you it are the diagrams or the setup you use in carrying out what the experiment. That's what we call what the experimental setup. Now the next one is what? Is precautions. I've told you before, all experiments you have what? Precautions. All experiments have what? Precautions. You must follow these precautions in order to what? To obtain a better what? Result. Are you following? Then in conclusion, I've told you, you conclude in respect to what? To your aim. Are you with me? Are you following? So that is it. That's what we are going to what? To look at now. So let's go to our workbench and see what we have. Now from our workbench, we have the egg. This is egg. We are making it of the egg white, and we have our sodium hydroxide stock solution. We have our copper sulfate stock solution, and in here is what? The indicator, and is a solution of still copper sulfate, because we are asked from our procedure to add 4 to 5 drops of copper sulfate water solution. Are you following? So we are going to start. I will start by cracking our eggs. I will use my stirring rod to enable me crack what the egg. I'm making use of only the egg white, the albumin. The egg white is another word called what? The albumin of what? Of the egg. Now what I'm going to do is, this is my test tube. This is test tube A. I will add my egg white solution here. The egg white solution is my test solution. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Add the egg white solution. The reason why I crack it that is so that to enable me to drop the egg white. I don't want the yolk. Now this is my egg white. I've gotten part of what the egg whites. This is my egg whites. Now let's say to test to B, I should add distilled water. The distilled water is serving as a control solution. I'll make sure they are of the same volume. So let me measure using that of the egg white. I will reduce this. Okay, they have same volume. So this is test tube A. To test tube A, we added what? The egg white, and to test tube B, we added what? The distilled water. So we are going to carry out what? The tests. Now, this is our sodium hydroxide water solution. From our procedure, we are asked to what? Introduce 3 ml of what? The sodium hydroxide water solution. 3 ml of what? The sodium hydroxide water solution. So I'm going to measure it with this. I'm going to measure it with this. 3 ml. This is 15 ml. This is 100 ml beaker, and it's calibrated. So I want to get 3 ml of the sodium hydroxide solution. Now I've gotten that. I'll introduce here. This test tube A, how many egg whites? I will introduce it here. I will also introduce it. I will also introduce 3 ml. Inside the water also. Now I've gotten that. Let me bring the volume to be equal. Reduce this. Okay, let me leave this out. Okay, the volumes are equal. This test tube A, this test tube B. Test tube B is our control. Test tube B is our control. While test tube A is the test solution. Now, from the instruction or from the procedure, we ask the what? Introduce 4 to 5 drops of what? The copper sulfate solution. 4 to 5 drops. Now, with the aid of the dropper, I'm going to do accordingly. This test tube A. Test tube A, I will add 5 drops of copper sulfate solution. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The test tube B, I will also add 5. 1, 2, 3. 4. That has the egg white. We have introduced the copper sulfate solution, 4 to 5 drops, as well as what? The sodium hydroxide water solution. This is test tube B. We have the distilled water, and together with the sodium hydroxide, and we have also what? Introduced. I've also introduced our what? 4 to 5 drops of what? The copper sulfate water solution. Now we are going to mix using what? The stirring rod. I'll start from test tube A. Let me mix using what? The stirring rod. I've told you proteins undergo different color wall reactions. And from our procedure, when we carried out the Biuret test, I told you a purple or violet coloration will be formed, just like you have seen here. In here is a purple or violet coloration. Now this is the test solution. Now let's see to A. Let's see to B rather. Let's see to B. In B, there is no coloration. The coloration here is what? Bluish coloration, which is a negative test. Which is what? A negative test. A positive test will show you what? A purple coloration. The negative test will obtain the color of the copper sulfate water solution. So this is a negative test in test tube what? B. In test tube A is a positive test because a purple or violet coloration what is formed. Now this is telling you that protein is present what in this solution. Remember I told you that test tube A is our test solution, while test tube B is our what? Control. Our control what? Solution. Are you following?
Yes.
So you have all seen it now. This is purple coloration and this is what? Bluish coloration. Are you with me? A positive test and what? A negative what? Test. Are you following? Yes. So at the end of the day, using the egg whites and what? Some drops of what? The copper sulfate solution together with the sodium hydroxide water solution, we have observed that the purple coloration is formed here, whereas it is not formed here. So the test here is positive in A and negative what? In B. Are you following?
Yes.
So you're going to carry out this accordingly. Thank you very much. See you in our next class.